can the other stuff because then it melts.
Yep. Yeah, a lot thinner layer to mess with.
Well, boys, welcome to the 2024 Magic City Car and Trade Show. That's how quickly the goes. We did catch that first part. The people at home heard that first part. That's what the show's all about. I'm trying to capture you guys in the moment talking about racing.
I was ready for a countdown. But
Yeah.
No, we don't do countdowns here.
We're here.
No, you guys had a good conversation. I clicked the go live button.
And we're live.
As long as you didn't swear, then I'd have to beep it out or something.
It's church here, so we're
Church talk.
Yeah.
Yes, church.
Did you get the talk from Dad before you came
Yes.
on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. To my right here, Brennor Grinstead, year number 4 of racing. Three. Year number 3 of racing. We talked about that, and I screwed it up. Year 3 of racing. Tyson Grinstead, his brother, year 2 of racing.
Yep.
Who's older?
Tyson.
Tyson
By
is.
2 years.
Yeah.
What took you so long? Started life or what?
Kinda. It's kind of funny because I always wanted to drive a race car before Brennor, because Brennor was kind of in the motorcycle world. He was racing. He wanted to get into racing dirt bikes pretty bad, and I graduated high school and kind of did what you're going through now. I toured colleges, and I said, well, I'm going to go to Minot State, and college didn't work out, I guess, is the best way to put it. But so Brennor got a car, and I decided that I was just going to be my brother's #1 pit man. I did that for a year and watch him win a feature and a championship, and I said, well, this kind of sucks, actually. I kind of want to do that. I want to do this too. So I buckled down, and we bought Vance's car and turned it into what it is now.
Our co-host here with me is Cole Hanshoe.
The Cole Hanshoe.
The Cole Hanshoe. Circles, I think my wife calls you.
Yep. I'm really good at those. The ones that go around the track, and then the really tight ones in the middle of the corner too. Pretty much
Circles,
expert in all.
Yeah. So it's an interesting, the older brother didn't start racing. The younger one did. Opposite in my family, obviously. I started racing. Brock came after I did. But now we're kind of switched to where I don't do much racing and he races.
Right.
So it's kind of, two ends of the spectrum or whatever. What about it? I never heard of the Grinstead name. Up until I think you showed up to Underwood with a black
trophy
and
class.
green
Yeah.
51X.
First night out, I rolled it.
And you rolled it your first night.
So actually, Tyson did kind of technically start racing before I did. He was in an enduro, I don't know.
It would have been the summer of 2015. No, it's the year we lost Papa, so 17.
Yeah, and so he did that. He only did one of them, cracked up the car.
Usual.
We kind of just didn't. We had tried to look for a car, but we didn't really look very hard because we were still kind of young at the time and didn't know what we wanted to do with life. But then, I had a buddy in school that his brother had that. It was I get almost shot every time for saying this. It was an SS Monte Carlo. It was a white SS Monte Carlo.
And you cut it up?
Well,
the
windshield and the glass was already knocked out. So they had already planned on it, so we just finished it. So technically we didn't decide that. But, it was a nice car. Jordan built the motor for it, actually. And, I went out and did that. So
the trophy class the first year. And that was 2020.
21. It was the year I graduated. I went and raced in Underwood and graduated that Sunday.
Did you graduated from Stanley High School?
Yes. Yep.
You graduated from Stanley?
Yep.
Your family's not originally from Stanley,
No,
are you guys?
we were born in Wyoming, but we've been here I've been here most of my life, like 14 years, 14.
And
15
I didn't
years.
know who you guys were. I was the guy that was the announcer and on the receiver in Underwood when you were there.
Yeah.
I was like announcing with this hand, receiver with this hand, announcing. And
I remember laying upside down, hearing Brandon say my name, and I was like, "Hey, at least they said my name." But not in a good way.
Yeah, he actually rolled across the finish line.
Yeah, I finished.
Yep.
It counted me as finishing.
So Brenner's
I remember that.
It was not a DNF.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Nobody was there with a camera, though.
No.
I don't think so.
And we were going to go back out for the feature, but when I spun, it broke my steering shaft, and we didn't have a welder, so we couldn't weld it and get it back out there, but we planned on it. But
short of a welder, he would have probably went out and run the feature.
Yeah, we could have, maybe. Yeah,
somebody would have had a welder somewhere.
But see, like you say,
Nobody knew you guys at that time.
We were
That's
those
where we
guys.
met Marcus. Marcus was actually the first one over and was like, I think we can find a welder, I think we can. But, yeah.
And for the longest time, I didn't even get to know you guys hardly at all. I just thought you were from the Underwood area.
Yeah.
I had no clue you guys were from Stanley.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Right.
And really,
But then come to find out, you and my dad have worked together for 15
he's
years or whatever.
For 10+ years. He's a company man for MPLX, and we have trucks going to work for him every day.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean,
Weird.
It's
Small world.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I consider Underwood our home track. I guess a little more than Minot, but that's just because
that's where you got your start.
Yeah.
We started.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were at Nodak every Sunday for.
Growing up as a kid, that's where we would spend our Sunday nights.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did.
It was like our church, kind of.
Yeah. See, and going to the home track thing, I have an affinity to Thunder Mountain Speedway in Botno because that's where I raced for half the summer before. My dad wouldn't let me race in Minot.
Yep.
I had to race in Botno, and then I raced in Underwood. Well, Botno is where I got my first, championship, a lot of firsts up in Botno.
Right.
So
Me too.
that place is like, that's where I have my home track affinity to.
Underwood is where I would call that my home track, but Williston is always going to have, it's where all the firsts happen.
Right.
You just can't deny that.
But yeah, I mean,
I still remember working on the car, in the pits.
Yeah.
The hot pits that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were involved in that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Cole was the reason I didn't get out of the car.
Yeah.
There was some expletives
Stay
thrown
in
at me,
there.
and he was mad at me.
Stay in
Yeah.
there.
Go back to that story. So we're going to go back. You're not racing yet. Rookie year. You're just starting to get your feet wet into this deal. You're racing Minot and Williston full time. Where else did you go? Did you go to Underwood?
We raced everywhere we could our first
Everywhere
year.
you
Yeah,
could.
with the exception of Botno. I think we went up to Botno on the tour, but we didn't go up there.
And that's 2021 now we're on, right? 22. 22,
That would
23,
be
24.
Yeah, that would be 22.
22.
Yeah.
You get towards the end of the year. You picked up your first feature win as a rookie in Williston early on in the year. Wasn't it?
It was a little later. I think it was July.
In August? It was in July?
Yeah.
I was at the Cody Johnson concert.
Yeah, at the fair.
So it was during the fair.
I missed my brother's first feature win for Cody Johnson.
But Cody Johnson does put on a pretty good show. So, I mean, that's fine.
It was worth it.
Winning a feature is pretty worth it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I remember the excitement. I was the camera guy up on top of the booth.
People always said that, you practice your speech.
Yep.
You practice what you're going to say and you practice who you're going to thank, but then you get there and you just forget
it goes
how
out
to
the
talk and where you are. And I mean, the grandma thing, I always had to deal with my grandma.
That's not a plug-in, Trevor. That's not a plug-in. Those are USBs.
Trevor's trying to draw all our power here.
Yeah. Don't let her pull that off the table, neither.
This could get bad here, folks.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
Bruce Rudland still lets me have it today because when I won in Minot, first win in Minot in the sport mod, supposed to be super excited and everything like that. As I'm passing the finish line, ahead of Laudenschlager, I'm just, freaking out in the car, just having a blast. Damn near took it off the top of 1 and 2 after the checkered.
Yeah, and see that I don't know, it didn't hit me until I got to victory lane.
Yep.
That's like when you're in front of the fans and you get their energy, that's when it,
Right.
But I always had a thing with my grandma where I would just do the you the man grandma, and I said, if I ever win a race, I'm getting out of the car and I'm looking at the camera because she wasn't there, so it just, it happened. And then I got excited and dropped a swear word and you guys talked about that on the Dirt Weekly.
But that's
Larry laughed, and
that's the raw emotion, though. That's awesome to see.
That's
you
what
just
it's
can't
all
stop
about.
it. It just comes out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull around and I'm just, so pumped and everything like that. But then I pull up to victory lane and I stop and I'm just in the car watching my temp gauge, just like, and Bruce comes over and starts shaking the hell out of me. And I'm like, oh, he's like, you just won. He's like, heck yeah,
Did I get to interview you?
You did, yeah.
I did?
Yeah, and he's like, you just won, I'm just sitting there, just no emotion. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Then go crazy. But
yeah, you want to talk about things that blur together. I can't remember who I interview where.
Yeah. But, I mean, you're
in it all the time. But so you pick up the first feature win. Everybody's excited, and that kind of set the tone. You were in the championship hunt?
Yeah, we were.
Was it after that, or you were in the championship hunt all year?
Yeah, we were pretty close all year. And then Reese has always been fast in Williston in a hobby. So, I mean, just to even be that close to Reese in a points race was pretty cool in my rookie year. But just to even be driving a race car. I mean,
Yeah.
but Yeah, so we were close. I think that night, we went a point ahead of Reese. And then that next week, and they struggled with rainouts. They always, they're always struggling with rainouts.
But they also had that deal. I think what broke the points wide open is Botno overlapped one night.
Yeah.
And people had to choose.
And people chose.
And I think like Kyler and a bunch of those other guys went to Botno.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so like the points were wide open after that because
and then there was one race, so we won. There was one race, and then it was rainouts, and then it was championship night. But the race after I won, Reese finished a couple spots ahead of me, and he went up 1 point. So going into championship night, we were down a point.
And you're a rookie.
This
is all new.
It shouldn't have even been on my radar, right? Like that. It just added.
This is all.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Because you're right. You shouldn't even be worried about it. You're still learning how to drive a car.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a mess, Brandon. That whole day.
Yeah.
We went to lunch and stuff, and Brenner's just looking at his food, and he's like,
I can never eat before race day. That's my biggest. I can't eat. I don't know. I can't.
But it's noon, and he goes, "Can we go to the track, Dad? Can we go? Can we go?"
Just
and I'm
sit
like,
there.
And I'm like, the gate's not even open. And I mean, he was a mess for a week, and it's getting closer. And but it was crazy to watch him because as soon as the door on the trailer goes down and the car gets rolled out,
completely different.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's why we're always there early.
Yeah.
Like me and Dad always have a saying that if you're there, you're not worried about getting there.
Right.
Right. So and going into championship night, it was I don't know. I don't think you could have. Yeah.
And it was like the way the race shook out was even crazier. It wasn't just like a normal.
Yeah, so you go out there, and I should pull it up. We could pull up the video because I know that guy that owns Darn TV. But do you guys know him?
I don't think I've ever met him. I don't know. Yeah.
He's kind of a prick. But
I met his brother once, I think.
Yeah, I know his brother races.
So you go out there, and there was a wreck that happened pretty early on.
Yeah.
Wasn't it really early? Lap 2, 3?
Yeah, Zach Nelson, and bless him. I mean, he was newer. He only started racing. The night we won in Williston was his first ever night out in the hobby.
It was like night 2 or 3.
So we and no problem to him. He was in a car that
bounced up the track. I think, and then into you.
Well, there was a spin. I was up on the track. I was stopped, and then he kind of spun out and then hit my right front and rolled off the top of the track.
I remember.
So I was more worried about him, right? Mm-hmm. But I was sitting in the car like, okay, I think something just broke, right?
Yeah.
Like you can feel it. And you're sitting there, and I'm playing with the steering wheel, and
Yep.
I knew that I couldn't go to the hot pit then, right? But then Bruce said, okay, you guys can cycle around, and I was like, I think that means I can go get work done.
Right.
So I pull into the pits, and I see Cole and Dad and Tyson, and they're all standing there, and they're like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I lost steering in my front end. Just check our spindle, check our tie rod, and come to find out it was a tie rod. And Dad looked at me, and he's like, we're broke. We're done.
Yeah.
And
I remember you
came over.
The gloves
yeah,
off,
I almost had my helmet off, and you pulled the window net down. You said, you do not get out of this car, or you are done. We will get it fixed.
Yeah.
They're still sitting out there. We're going to try. And I remember seeing Dad hop on the four-wheeler and just barreled out to the trailer.
Yeah.
And he comes back with a tie rod, vice grips, and no hammer. No, there was
hammer.
no hammer.
No
We were
hammer.
using
And
pliers.
Yeah,
Yep.
so,
To
and then
hammer
I
it
see
out.
Smalls come out of the stand, and, Smalls is screaming. He's like, it's just an effing tie rod. We're going to get it fixed. And I see him taking the tie rod, beating the broken one out. I'm just sitting in there like, what are we doing? Like, this is, and I'd never been to the hot pit. And, I'd never, so it was just bizarre to be there. And then finally, I hear you guys say, okay, we're starting to get it put back together. Cole's like, put your stuff back on. You're going back out there. And you were working the jack.
Yeah.
So as soon as Brandon let the jack out, I got back out there, and Bruce was like, okay, we're taking the green next time by. So I joined on in the back of the field. And I think Reese had actually broke, too, because he was kind of somewhere in that wreck.
He was in the wreck, but I don't think he hurt his car. Did he hurt his car?
I don't know, but I just remember when we took the green, I was in the back, and Reese was somewhere up front.
Yeah.
And I had passed a couple cars, and Reese was one of the cars that I passed, but he didn't fire.
Yeah.
So I just, I completely took the points championship out of my head. I was like, we just need to get back into this race.
And you almost won the race.
I don't know where Reese
think you
is.
got second or third or something.
And that was the night Jacob Robinson got his first win. So congrats, that was a cool thing for him. But I was trying to get to I was trying to get another one. But, and then the moment where we took the checkered, and I was like, yeah, okay, that was a crazy race. Second's good, cool, whatever. And then Bruce comes over and he says, yeah, I need the 13 at
51.
Jacob Robinson to the grandstands, and he goes, also the 51X. Congratulations on your first track championship win. And I was like, holy crap, and so
it just happened.
That was the emotions for that were so much. They compounded the first win,
Right.
Because the first win is always important, right?
Yeah.
But a championship is an odd amount of races combined into one. So it's basically like you're winning.
The amount of work you put in through the year.
And
off.
just that night, I immediately thought about all you guys. Like, I thought about Smalls and Cole and Brandon for working the jack. I was like, these people just helped me get here. So, and it made it a little bit more special because my grandma, we had lost my grandpa a few years prior, and he was a super big part of our lives.
Right.
And she came to me, and she had a penny. We were in the garage getting ready to load up. She had a penny, and she said she found it after he passed away. She found it in the house, and people say that when you find a penny, it's your loved one telling you, stuff like that. So she brought it to me, and she said, I want you to put it somewhere where you can see it. And just like it's your lucky penny. So
she meant the trailer or the pickup or something, and
I put it. It's still in my car to this day. I've never taken it out since there. It's taped there with his initials on it. So it's
nice.
I've always got him riding with, and I swear to God, he's my luck. Like he's
that's awesome.
So to have her there, and she was there for that, and just everybody. We were all there. Like Tyson's girlfriend was there. He was there. My mom was there. My aunt
It's a big night.
My aunt had flown home from Phoenix just to come watch that race.
Yeah.
So you just couldn't write it any better.
And it was the highs and lows, right? Because now everybody's here. Then he wrecks and he's broke. So then we all come crashing down and we're like.
And not just that, we had family from Wyoming that came down too.
And I'm out.
Yeah. I felt like I disappointed everybody.
Like, there was this hype all day, and then all of a sudden he's back in it. Well, okay, at least he's gonna finish. Yeah. And then me and Dad are standing. We're running. Like, we'd pick him up in 4, and we'd run all the way down that fence at Williston, and we're just cheering for him the whole time, and then we'd wait for him to come back. And
I think I remember telling your dad when you were in the hot pits. I wasn't there for more than just a jack and maybe some moral support. That's all I was there for. I think your dad was like super, like, I don't know what to do with this. And I just said, hey, these guys got it. Just chill.
Yeah.
Just chill.
And it was the first time he did it.
Between Cole and Smalls, you guys, they had it.
And he had never had to worry about it either because we'd never. So it was just as new for him too. But these guys were like, oh no, we got it. You guys are good. So Dad was running and getting parts.
Well, and it was nice because you guys actually had an assembly
ready to go.
But
it wasn't a screw out.
That's what Dad does. That
2 bolts.
I feel like Dad, before we go racing, he's like, okay, here's the parts that we might need. When you get tie rods, they're not put together. Right? So he's like, let's put a couple together. You never know when you might need one.
Same length that are in the car.
And it just worked out perfect.
Yeah.
I think we were I think the toe was terrible, but we So, just to
maybe you hit on something. Maybe that's how you got to have your toe.
I don't know, like a pizza cutter through the corner. But it slows you down. You don't have to use as much brake.
You're going left and right.
Yeah.
But Dad had told me to run to the trailer because it clicked. He goes, I got tie rods in the drawer. So he goes, Tyson, go. I could have grabbed the 4-wheeler, but adrenaline, right?
You took off running. I remember that.
I just started running. Well, I'm not
I think your dad made a comment, goes, he could have took the 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
Didn't he get on the 4-wheeler and go then too?
Well, I'm no athlete, right? So it's not fast at all. I'm giving it everything I got, and he comes flying by. And I get into the trailer finally, huffing and puffing, and out of excitement, he had broke the – we had one of them Harbor Freight deals.
He could have just pulled the lever on the Harbor Freight toolbox, but he took a pry bar and a hammer and broke it. And after the race, he goes, "I'll buy a new toolbox." I was like, "It's okay. I mean, in the circumstance, I understand. You were excited, but it was
funny."
But it was just a cool thing for me to see because, like, here it started at the trophy class in Underwood, and then he had bought that car from the kid in Iowa, and almost. I mean, it was 10 months maybe because it wasn't quite fall roundup time. Yeah. But 10 months before that, he's making laps, running dead last.
Getting lapped 2 wide by Andrew Birch, crapping my pants. Thinking to myself, I'm never going to be able to keep up with these guys.
And 10 months later, here he is, the track champion as a rookie.
In Underwood. Or in Williston.
And I'm like, wow. Like
at full circle.
Yeah, it was in a year, right? I figured we'd have to wait 5 or 6 years before, because Jorn tells the story all the time. It took 5 years to win a feature at Minot. So.
And it's not
5 years to win a feature at Minot.
It's not like I was set out to. I didn't have it in my brain, that we're going to win a race this year. My first year, I was like, we're learning. I'm going to follow these guys. I'm going to learn. But that night in Williston, stuff happens for a reason, and everything just kind of lined up, and it was almost like it was meant to be. So I mean, and same thing with the championship. Like I mean, it's not. Everything just lined up. I sometimes think I got lucky with the rainouts and just, but.
Well, I mean, but I think you figured out by now, racing is 50% luck.
Yeah, better to be lucky than good.
But it's
My
and
first
it's
hobby
lucky.
win was the same way. You remember that, Andrew and Dana?
Yep.
I was running third. I'm like, oh, these guys are straight away ahead
Yeah.
of me, Well, they started beating each other up on the track. Well, they went into 1 and 2 with the last lap, and Andrew got Dana into the wall, and they bounced off each other because Dana got it flat. So then they both went off the track. Well, then they got,
Here
black
comes the
flag.
coal mine.
I'm
Here
in,
comes Cole.
I'm in third, and I'm like, oh, I see these guys fly off the track, and I stayed in it. I'm like, I'm not letting anybody else pass me,
Yeah.
And, I won. They're like, black flag for these guys. 82, you're the winner. And I'm just driving around the track like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
What
like,
just
"Wait,
happened?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
My favorite Kohlmeister story is last year when he won in the stock car. Me and Brennor in staging in Underwood.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
I was almost
I'm trying to-
asleep. I was almost asleep because it was
I'm trying to
hot,
do
and
a
I'm trying
burnout.
to, yeah.
Yeah, but
cookie.
that's the.
Yeah.
Brandon goes, okay, hobby feature rollout, and we get about halfway up the embankment.
They're like,
Brandon
"Watch
goes,
out."
hang on, Cole's doing a burnout in
Yeah.
the front stretch.
yeah. And we just look at Cole, and his car's just doing one of these, and it's not a very good burnout.
Yeah.
It was just,
I took a left. Well, I had so much bite in the car. I took a left. All it did was just hike up and drive straight.
yeah.
Couldn't
It
even get
wasn't,
it to turn
it
all the
wasn't
way
a
around.
Schultz burnout in Estevan.
Yeah,
It wasn't that quality, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon goes, hang on.
yeah, Cole's doing something
God,
out
you know
there.
how much fun it is on the receiver to get some of them one-liners in. Hold up, Cole's
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
do a burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Failed miserably.
There's some on like the Tougher Than Dirt tour when I would say you guys are doing the double file
Yeah.
lineups or choosing, and I'd say something, or Underwood is. Sometimes you guys listen and sometimes you don't
Yeah.
listen. I'm just being straight up with you.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Well, selfishness, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get caught, too. I always, watching a race, I'm like, come on, guys, just
Yeah.
get lined up. But when you're in there and you think that's your spot
Yeah.
and you're getting,
Yeah, and I'm putting somebody ahead of you, and you're like, what
no,
the heck?
You're
Yeah.
like, no,
That's your only way to disagree,
Right.
is to
Yeah.
just stay where you are.
Right.
Yeah,
But
'cause
it
you
never
can't-
works.
You can't talk back
No.
to me.
Right,
No,
I can't hit a button and go, no, Brandon, I was ahead of him.
Yeah.
And it's so you feel, but then you look back and you're like, why did I
Yeah.
throw a fit like that?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the way that it
Most of the time, the guy on the radio is right.
goes. Most of the time. I just like
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I like
Most of the time, I think I'm right, or Bruce thinks he's right.
I like that.
Hey, even if Bruce is wrong, I'm not disagreeing.
Listen.
Bruce, you were right.
I want to
Yeah.
I want to sign a petition to have the choose rule for all hobby stock features.
Oh, the choose rule's getting brought up.
Yeah.
You like that choose rule?
Where did they do it? They did it somewhere. Was it in Kokopah?
Yeah. No.
Was that where they did it somewhere this winter?
They did it at that. It wasn't an IMCA deal. It was that USRA thing. But their choose rule was different. So Brandon lets each guy kind
Right.
of NASCAR style, right? And so you pick high or low. It was so like if you were the leader was out front, they do Delaware double file. Whichever lane that second place picked, then third got to pick. But wherever third picked, fourth lined up behind
okay.
him. It was a really. It's kind of like
So
that.
how they did it in Arizona at Kokopah was second got to choose high or low, and based on where he chose, so like if he chose high, then all the evens
Had to go high.
were high,
Right.
and all the odds were low. So third would go low. So it'd be confusing because I'd be running 10th, and in the world that we race in up
it's
here,
outside fifth row.
well, no, in a Delaware double file, you'd be inside row 4.
Oh,
Right.
you're right. 10th.
You know, 10th, whatever, you're
Right. Yeah.
you're on the inside because evens are inside, odds are outside. But down there, what they said on the receiver the whole time was opposite of the guy in front of you.
Right.
Don't do the math or don't try to
Yeah.
figure where.
Yeah.
Go opposite of the guy in
Right.
front of you. But Grant was on the receiver down there, who I got to know up here on the tour and stuff. He was getting frustrated because you'd get back to 10th, 11th,
Yeah.
12th, and guys would just be lollygagging,
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
8 car lengths behind. Like, come on, go.
Get stacked up.
But that
You know.
I because again, it was my rookie year last year, so I only ran the opening night of the tour, had to go to work all week, and then I ran the last night
Tuesday
in
night, Minot,
in Minot. But I feel like the first night it was kind of touch and go.
Yeah,
some
we
guys
kinda-
were,
yeah.
Some guys were trying to figure it out, and then you were trying to play games, and am I picking lower? But by the time we got to Minot and I watched it, of course, all week, it was smooth.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
telling you, by the time you got to Willis and by the time you guys, like Bruce, I did it, so I was on the receiver in Underwood and Dickinson. And then Bruce is Williston, obviously, so night 3 was Bruce. By the time you guys got to Bruce, everybody knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce would say choose, and we'd all,
Yeah, everybody would choose.
Yeah, it didn't even take half a lap. So.
And I thought it was awesome, but
I didn't get to do a whole lot of racing on the tour last year because tour
you
last
had
year
struggles.
was not good. But that's racing. You know, you could be highest of the high, thinking you're good going into the tour. You know, you got a good car, and then
the night my camera got hit.
Oh man!
If you skip it back, it was probably one of the 10 times I hit the wall last year.
Could have been.
No, it's a modified feature. I can't remember who hit it.
It was probably Big Show or Trav up there getting a little too close.
Yeah. So tougher than dirt tour. You guys will fast forward to now. So let's go last year. You ran every racetrack last year.
Yeah.
Were you shooting for the state title, or were you just racing as much as you can to race?
We had started with thinking about a state title, but. We kind of started to slow down a little bit. It'd be cool, but man, it's tough to race 3-4 nights a week and do that. So we started to get a little, slow, and so I was like, okay, guys, let's not worry about state titles so much. Let's still race a lot, but let's not worry about it. When you start worrying about titles and stuff can just get. It gets complicated, and you get mad, and you get angry, and that's not what you're not supposed to do that in racing.
It's almost like a job, like a business.
You're worried about going to the racetrack.
Fun.
You're like, man, I got to perform at this level this week. Right. You know, you've already put so much pressure on yourself that it. Yeah. So last year, we just raced because we like to race. You know, we just enjoy racing.
Yep.
So, we went everywhere we could last year. We even went to Botany a couple nights, and. Last year was a good year. I had a lot of fun last year because I felt like I knew what I needed to do in the car, how I could actually, I learned stuff. So, and when you have a good year like that, when you're running a lot of seconds, when you're doing, we've all done it. But even Marcus sat me down and he said, you know what, 1 win a year is a good year. Right. He said there's people that,
that don't get them.
Yeah. So that completely switched my attitude last year. Right. I just quit worrying about it.
Yeah. Picked up 1 win last year.
We got hot for some reason. I don't know why, but we won championship night in Underwood. And then either the next week or the week after that was the night we won in Williston.
Okay.
And then we went up to Estevan and won up there. And so it just felt like we quit worrying about it so much, and everything just fell right where it needed to fall. And fair break, we took a little break, we hung out with family, went to some concerts and did some other things, and you came back fresh, you know.
And when it becomes a job, that's when the fun leaves. You know? Once you get back to that,
it's a balance. It's a balance. Racing is more mental than it is anything. Racing is such a big mental game that if you're not right, either the day before or the day of headed to the racetrack, if you're not there, it doesn't go well. It doesn't.
I agree. It's so much more mental. And then the luck thing, what I was going to go with on the luck, you have to be lucky in racing, but you have to put yourself in the position
to be lucky,
to take advantage of the luck.
Yeah. Right.
There's some people that are super, super lucky, but they're not in the position to even take advantage of it.
Right. High-speed game of chess, as Jordan says.
You're 100%. Yeah. I don't think people realize that. So we're going to do a giveaway here. SIBO Motorsports is doing a giveaway. They're the sponsor of the Table Talk. We're calling it Table Talk. We got a hat and a T-shirt.
All-Star Performance, it looks like.
All-Star hat, All-Star shirt.
Holy.
The first person to come to the booth, we have 20-plus viewers. If you're watching out here somewhere, first person to come to the booth and tell us which racetrack Brennor got his first feature win and championship. They're the same track.
Correct.
We talked about it earlier. Yeah. You had to pay attention to a little earlier.
You did, and I think I even forgot.
And I don't think if I remember right, it's not Mandan.
It's not Mandan.
It's not Mandan. So. You didn't like Mandan?
No, I enjoyed Mandan. It was super fun. I really have nothing bad to say about. I think we were all
other than
a little pushy and touchy. Like it got a little, but you had to be on that track. It was such a track position track, and I had a talk with Adam before I went out, and everybody that's watched a race with me in it knows I'm not a high side guy. I don't thrive up there. I'm a catfish.
You had my line. We started side by side.
That's Adam.
And I did not want to be on the bottom. If I could have made a $10 deal with you, I would have switched.
Adam said you know he's going to want to be up top, and I know you want to be on the bottom, so keep each other uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you did. You stayed right there.
And
finally,
man,
I think out of turn 2 is where I finally cleared you.
Yeah, there was a weird, it was about 10 feet wide, and it was like it was wet, but it wasn't, and it was just super slick on the way top, and I drove it in way too hard, and and then after that, I got in my own head and chasing Brandon. I just started, so.
Every restart I'd see you, I'd wait for you on the inside, and I was kind of doing a half diamond. I'd go in where it was sticky because it was super tacky. What was slick at the beginning of the race, I found tack super fast up there.
Yeah.
You could almost bury it into turn 1 wide open, but then coming off, you had to pedal it. You were like wah.
It was a tricky track.
It was fun to watch. I got a front row seat. I watched you guys race. Race pretty hard back there from 14th. So
it's a different style of racing at Mandan too, compared to what
momentum.
you deal with.
Yeah.
But I compare it to, I raced in Estevan this year a few times. It's a lot of similarities to Estevan, and you have to keep your momentum in Estevan.
Yeah.
You can't break momentum.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you try to squeeze between the wall and a car in Estevan, when you have momentum, you're not going to come out of it.
I watched you try that.
You watched me try it?
I watched you try that.
It didn't work.
Mandan's tricky. If you get the car sideways at all in that corner, you're almost riding it out the entire corner.
Yep, you got to ride it the whole way.
Yep. So if you can, the straighter you can get in and the straighter you can get out, it works to your advantage.
There's a little difference in Estevan because it's so banked, and even the straightaways are banked, so it helps you keep that momentum. Mandan, it's a little flatter, so
I still don't know how Brandon didn't flip that car that night in Estevan when he got
into the
pinched
wall
like that.
Yeah.
You think I had control of it? I was just along for the ride, dude.
Well, when it started to hop up on the fence like that, I was like, oh man! But it came down. And
I think I shut my eyes. I didn't want to watch
I was
that.
so pissed. I was so pissed.
Yeah, and
I felt so bad for. I didn't actually say nothing. We were parked next to one another on the track.
I saw you pointing.
And I was like,
and
what
you drove
are you
it to
doing?
the pits with no left rear on it. Or right rear, whatever it was. You didn't have a rear tire on it, and there's Brandon just going to the pit.
I did not care in any way, shape, or form.
I
was so mad because he was running the tires. What I was mad about is he was running the tires.
Right.
And I was trying to get into a point invert position because I was outside because it was super frustrating to try to pass on that track. So they were all battling, or you guys were all battling down low trying to get bottom. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to cruise up here and see if I can momentum you guys. And I was getting it. And then all of a sudden he comes out of the corner and goes all the way to the wall.
Yeah, didn't leave you a
lane
lane at all.
What's going on here?
I think that was the night that I won because we had the 2 features.
Yeah. I won the first feature, the makeup feature, and you won the second one. Because I kind of did the same thing to Kyler in the first feature. He was running the bottom and he was sweeping all the way out to the wall. But I got position on him sooner down the straightaway. When he squeezed me, I was able to scoot through there. But
if it just works out just right.
That was a lot of fun getting out there to race with you guys again.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's fun to watch you guys race. Maybe I'll be up there one day.
I don't know how much racing I get to do. It's all in the flip a quarter. I don't know what I get to do.
Yeah, that's kind of the seat I was in last year with work. I just, you buy a car right at the start of the year. I didn't. This year, I gave them a schedule. I'm like, hey, this is when I'm gone. I'm racing. But last year, it was kind of like, okay, I have the day off.
Race when you can.
Race when I can. So
I think I have some 4 3/4 wheels for you guys.
Yeah, the ones that you bought when we first started. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I bought 5-on-5 from you guys because you guys sold your 5-on-5 stuff. But 4 3/4, we bought a car out of Kansas that we took the motor. We took everything out of it, and the wheels are still on the car, and they're 4 3/4. So I talked to your dad last fall, and I said, hey, we picked up this car. I guess I should have had him off and brought him here for you guys.
Yeah,
You still 4 3/4?
Yes.
5 on 4 3/4?
Yeah, on everything.
Both cars. Yeah. Both cars are the same pretty much.
We get made fun of for that, but it's what they were. It's what they were when we got
them. I can't bring
so
a spare wheel and tire over to you. You're on your own on that one because we're 5-on-5.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But,
that's what I ran to when I had my hobbies.
But it's not just the wheels, too. Dad has done a really good job of making the entire
everything the same.
Yeah, interchangeable. So like if Tyson breaks something, and I have a spare, you can go right on Tyson's or vice versa.
Right.
So
that's the best way to be.
Yeah.
Because last year we weren't. So Dad would go to the hot pit in Minot, and it was, these are Brenner's tires.
That's
these are
annoying.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Right? So then it's
that's annoying.
It puts a lot. So this year he doesn't have that stress of It
Who's
just
his
grab
who's?
just grab a tire. It
Yep.
don't matter. So
And it's best. I'm going to give. Is Lydia still over here? No. I'm going to give Trevor some grief. It's best to have something different than Trevor has because you never know what he needs, and you won't get it back.
Right.
Trevor.
Old retriever.
Oh, Trevor.
yeah.
So going into this year, 2024, what's the plan? How much you racing? Nodak full time.
Yep, I'm gonna do everywhere full time.
Williston,
just like we did
Estevan,
last year.
Underwood.
Yeah.
When you get a moment, I know. Was it last year? You know, we had some rainouts and stuff. You went down to Dickinson.
Yeah.
Max went down
Yep.
to Dickinson.
It was cool watching. I got a front row seat of watching Max win his first one, and that was one of the ones where I felt like his dad. You know, because he's younger than all of us.
His dad was on the
So
microphone.
we raced in Jamestown.
So
Yeah.
we all feel like Max has grown up.
Yep.
So we've all seen him, and we've seen him progress. So it was just cool to be there. And I wanted to win, but I was like, oh man, it'd be cool to watch Max do it. And
Right.
so,
Yeah, when he got in that sport mod, me and him were racing the sport mods in Jamestown.
Yeah, Max and Cole were.
He started in front of me in the race. I finally got by him on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going. And he just stayed in it, and he had the lane for 3 and 4.
Right.
So I just backed off. I let him have it. I just followed him around that whole race. No mistakes. Drove the car amazing. It's like, good job, Max. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure will you pick up a Dickinson or two if there's some rainouts?
Yeah, I enjoy Dickinson. My girlfriend's originally from Bowman, so it's a nice place to go where we can go, and her family. It's closer to them than coming all the way up here to watch our
Bowman,
races.
right.
So it's nice for them to be able to come to Dickinson and watch a couple races. So I don't mind Dickinson. We also went there for that fall special. That was a fun,
thanks to you guys because
there was a couple fun.
we got you guys welded in Max's lower bulge joint, gave him a carburetor.
Yeah.
Your dad, while we were working on Max's car, your dad was over rewiring the 5 car because the wire fell out of the distributor.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of stuff going on there.
Didn't he break what did he break on his carburetor? Max, didn't he break something on
Yeah,
the center.
We were about to go out, and Max comes over and he goes, Dad, this just fell off.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? So we were going to take the one off the 5 car. I was like, I don't even need to run the feature.
Yep.
You go out and race because I don't need to, it's not about me. I want to just say I raced with Max.
Yep.
That's what last year was about. Dion Iverson offered me or gave me the opportunity to go race with Max, and I thank him a ton and in the world, because now I got to say I raced with my son. After this, it's all him.
Yep.
I'm like your guys' dad. I look at you guys now that I got to know you. You guys are growing up right in front of me. You're becoming a racer right in front of me. Now you're becoming a racer. You're never going to be a racer.
No.
So quit trying.
I know.
But we like
out a
having
lot of years.
we like
It's out a
having
lot of
you
years.
around.
Right.
So keep coming around.
Yeah, I'm the comedy. I'm the one that you get to point
Yeah.
at and laugh.
Checkers or records, baby.
Oh, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Although I think your move to a sport mod is the best place for you.
Yeah.
I will agree with you.
Money-wise, I don't have the funds as
Don't have stock car money.
some of them people do, and
But no, it's
you got to
it's
have
cool
that motor program on
Yeah.
point, and we popped 2 last year, and just
So you're running full time at every track, going to race probably as much as you can.
Yeah, that's the plan.
What's your plan?
So Minot, Estevan, Underwood, full time.
Now something different. You live in Bismarck,
I live in Bismarck.
so you're going to make the trip to Estevan.
So
I'm guessing the car. I heard you picked up a new rig this winter.
Yeah, we
hauls
we
2
were
cars?
lucky enough, and another one of those things that just worked out. Started as a joke with Wayne, kind of. We knew he was getting out of it, so we just kind of, hey, if you ever want to get rid of it, we're your guys. Whatever. Started as a joke, and Wayne was serious about it, and he was gracious enough that he gave us an opportunity to be able to
buy the toter.
Yeah. So I mean,
and
just
you won't find anything nicer than anything.
absolutely
anything that Wayne
not.
owned.
Yeah.
You won't find anything nicer.
Absolutely.
Cars.
Absolutely.
That stacker,
Yeah, I
everything.
mean, it looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor. I
So
mean,
you live in Stanley.
I
Work
do,
in Stanley. You're in Bismarck. Car's going to stay in Stanley.
Yep.
Just make it easier. Throw it in the trailer.
Right. Yeah.
No
more
3
open
cars.
trailer with the enclosed trailer, having to get another rig. And Tyson's racing now?
Yep,
We're
now
30
we need-
minutes from
we need
leaving.
3 people
okay.
to drive to the track.
Yeah.
So it just with work, I work every other Saturday. Mostly is kind of how it shakes out. Last year, the Saturdays I was off were Williston, but it's 6 hours almost for me. It's like 4 hours to get to Williston and back.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't make a ton of sense for me to do that last year. So this year it's going to be, I'll make the trip to Estevan and
It'd be easier because some nights you can just come up on a Friday night and then we'll just leave.
And then just go and come
or
back.
There's a couple Estevan nights where it's
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday Minot. So I can just, I can go to Underwood, race for 3 days with you guys, and then go home.
Yep.
So
is it hard being in Bismarck with everything going on up Stanley?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of working on stuff and getting stuff done, I mean, to look at that car in the car show, it's a testament to Dad and Brennor and Cody Nelson. He's walking around here. Jorn, I mean, without his metal brake, we don't have the parts for that car either. But
there was some nights doing that brotherly love thing. It started, you're like, man, I love the kid to death, but I got stuff I need to do on my car.
Where is he at?
I mean,
but it was also
But you do it because we go back to the night I won in Underwood. The first person that I got to see when I won in Underwood was Tyson in my door.
Yep.
Right.
On the front stretch.
I mean, I reminded myself of that, so when you had those nights where you're like, this sucks. It's not my car.
He's there
Why am
for
I?
You're there for
You almost have two chances to win when you're out there with your brother,
Yeah.
both of you guys. Because if you win, he's excited.
Yep.
And if he wins, you're there and excited.
Absolutely.
Because you get just as excited. My brother and I did the same thing. We raced hobby stocks for years. It didn't matter which one of us won.
Absolutely.
And we worked on each other's cars out of the same garage.
Yep.
And this winter, I think, was going to be a different story than the rest of the winters. This year I got my knee fixed. I had knee surgery in December.
ACL replaced, or what'd you get fixed?
They put screws and all kinds of stuff.
Hardware.
He
backed it out at the wedding. He's got to go get it checked again. He started doing the stanky leg,
Yeah, I was dancing it up.
At the Tomlinson wedding?
Yeah.
But so then I was on crutches for 2 months and then barely walking. I mean, so that made it really hard this winter to get anything done. So it was Brennor and Dad and Cody and all those guys. They cranked it out and did an awesome job.
That whole knee thing ain't fun. I had my ACL replaced in 2012. Ooh.
It's a bad deal.
It was scary. Seeing him there for a while, he was a little rough, but he's young.
You have
he
no idea
back.
how important your knee is until you can't use it.
Until you can't use it?
Yeah, and it's just...
And live in an apartment where you have to go upstairs to get in there.
Yeah. But, no, I enjoy Bismarck. I wish it was a little closer, but, I live there.
Wish they had IMC hobbies?
Bad. I really wish they had IMCA hobbies.
Yeah.
Because that would just be perfect if I could do,
Anybody at Mandan.
If they could just
you're
switch,
listening.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
You'd have car count.
You'd have one for sure.
Yeah, you'd have one.
You'd have one. But
he could put on a show.
Yeah. I mean,
there's two. I think Davenport's have one down there.
They do.
So you'd have two.
So there you go. Just
send them opposite directions.
But I'm excited to race full-time in Estevan this year because the way the Saturdays worked, I worked every Saturday that they were racing in Estevan, so I got the privilege to watch them all at home. So I'm excited to travel this year and, get to live on the road with my brother.
Everybody's got to go to Estevan. I mean, that's just one of them tracks.
Why would you not go to Estevan?
You have to go there. If you are on the fence about going up to Estevan, get your passport and go up there. Mm-hmm. I have no idea.
Are you allowed in Estevan? Yeah, you are, ain't you?
Yeah. They always give me grief when I go in. It takes about an hour to get through the border.
Ooh.
But
I've been a behaved little boy my whole life. So.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. It's always coming home.
Me too.
They're always worse coming home.
Yeah, we're American. What are you doing?
We live here, man.
Yeah.
We're just up.
Do you realize 4 hours ago they just let us across the border with no problem? So obviously they like us.
Yeah.
And now you won't let us back in.
Mine's the opposite.
Right. But no, yeah. So Underwood full-time, Stanley.
Minot and Estevan.
Yeah, Minot and Estevan. Plus I'm on the board at Underwood too. So
how would a track?
Oh yeah, you are on the board. I forgot about that.
Track and Stanley. It would be perfect. You'd get the guys from Minot that wouldn't want to drive all the way to Williston, so they'd come to Stanley. And then you'd get all the guys from Williston that don't want to go all the way to Minot.
Wednesdays?
So they'd come to
Wednesday nights?
Thursday nights.
Why not? There you go.
I miss Underwood racing Thursdays because you had a four race weekend.
Yep.
You know, you'd go Thursday night Underwood.
Yep.
And it's only 45 minutes from Minot. It was perfect. You'd still get home at a decent time. Then you'd go race like Williston or Estevan, and then you'd have.
Still haven't had anybody show up for the giveaway.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sebo's just giving this stuff away.
Once again, if you're listening and you paid attention to the beginning part, if you can come up to our booth here at the Magic City Car and Trade Show at the North Dakota State Fair Center and tell us where Brennor Grinstead won his first feature and his championship.
Same place.
Same place, same track. If you can tell us that, tell Ryan that, you'll get a free All-Star T-shirt and hat.
I think it's a Speedway hat.
It is a Speedway hat.
Speedway hat, All-Star T-shirt.
Dang.
It's an XL shirt.
God, how do I teach Max? So I got 2 young guys here, 3 young guys, whatever. How old are you?
32.
10 years younger than
Cole,
me.
you're getting old.
10
I
years
know.
younger than me.
You
So
should
I'm
see the gray hair.
41.
That's why I got a hat on.
Woo.
Got to cover them up.
Yep.
Max just texted me and goes, Dad, do I have to pay to get in the car show? I said, yes, it's $5. Did you put a race car in here? And he goes, no, I ain't coming to the car show if I have to pay. What kind of?
Wait, we didn't have to pay if we put a car in here?
I paid.
No, I paid.
You should have got some
I wanted
wristbands.
to support.
Well, I got a stamp, but Max is fun. I like Max a lot.
Yeah, Max is.
He's a
Should I just
character.
text him and tell him I'll pay him back to get him down here?
It's $5. He doesn't have $5.
Yeah.
I thought
He has $5.
but he's stingy, huh?
He's stingy.
He's
Well,
stubborn.
he's got to afford tires for the sport mod. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
So we just worked on his car, and we're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be like $400, you know. It wasn't. He's like, oh, I only got like $180.
Oh, is this
He's
one?
like, wait, I'll text my mom, you know. So
Yeah.
then she like Venmo'd him or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mom,
you know.
can you Venmo me?
He's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
good now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
oh,
I'm-
gosh.
Is this the flat tires when he drove it in on flat tires?
No.
Oh, see, 'cause
what
I
was this, like key start or something like that, or remote?
I listen to the Dirt Weekly every week, and that made me laugh because
Yeah.
here's Max driving his car to tough
Yeah.
trucks with no air in the tires.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the most Max thing I've ever heard.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's
Says
Just
it's
because they're
something
called
else.
run flats doesn't mean you run them flat, you know.
He is something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Well, he had to go buy it. He wanted the little car, I don't call it a rice burner because it is a Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that considered a rice burner, what he has?
It's a 4-cylinder.
Well, what's the
I mean,
sound?
they
Does it
race-
sound like
Does
a
it
rice
sound like a rice burner?
Yeah, he's got a fart can on it.
Yeah, yeah,
burner?
yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
yeah.
Check.
So
It's a rice burner.
He has that little Cobalt SS. He wanted in the worst way. He was saving his money up for a Subaru, whatever,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
WRX
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
And I check with my insurance company, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
Mhm.
no.
It don't get any
Too
better.
fast for Max on the roads.
Yeah.
My insurance is dumb, and I have a pickup, and
Yeah.
they still don't trust me.
Oh, yeah, but you're young. Wait till you turn. How old are you?
I'll be 23 in June.
You got
so
3 years, and your insurance will start going down. Why is that? I would like to get.
I don't
Can
know.
we get an insurance person on
Yeah.
here?
Probably because they see that we have race cars.
Yeah.
Probably.
that's
That's yeah.
Yeah, I just did my life insurance stuff
Yeah.
through work and everything, and they know I race. So here I have to fill out all like,
Oh,
is it
a
sanctioned
rider.
and how
It's
many? and
whatever.
Yeah.
I
this
had to
and
do
that.
it too.
I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah,
I hopped
yeah.
on my buddy's 4-wheeler the
Well-
other day. Do I have to mark that off on
Yeah.
my life
Yeah.
insurance or something?
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I have an HSA or whatever it is for life insurance too
Yeah.
through work, and they say, well, do you engage in any dangerous activities as
Yeah.
hobbies? And well,
Skydiving.
Everything I do.
I mean, it
Yeah.
can be dangerous. It's not. I don't know, but
Right.
yeah, it's funny how they worry about that.
I'm not the best at making good decisions. So yeah, everything I do is not
We knew
smart.
that.
He's. Let's see. We had a. Oh, this goes back. I'm going to use the nickname so you guys can know who it is. The Howitzer checked in.
Oh,
Connor.
Nice.
Connor, man.
He says he has the same problems getting home that we have
Yeah.
getting home. So when he goes back to Canada and we come to the U.S.,
Howie.
one of the
God,
nice,
I'm excited to see
Hopefully
them
that
boys.
hand's all.
Oh,
one of the
man.
one of
All
the
fixed
nicest
up for
guys
this
I've
year.
ever met in my
Yeah.
life.
All of them, all the Canadians. Are
we
just,
were
awesome.
working hard on the Dirt Weekly last night. We did the show here last night. We were working hard on getting Cody, Connor, the Canadians
Yeah.
to come down today
Tell some
and then
stories.
and then tell stories right here
man.
and then take in tonight at the Rockin' Horse.
The PG ones.
Man.
Right, save the good
There's-
ones for
yeah.
the rocking horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never been scared to get in a cab in my life, but I was scared in Estevan.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. But I learned that there's one cab person you don't get in with, and so at least I know that for this year.
Yeah, Bruce always had the story. They would go from Estevan. They'd go out and drink and stuff after the
Yeah.
races, and they had like, I think he said like 7 or 8 people all hopped on this
Yeah.
car.
I
you
remember
know,
last year there was a
driving
night
down the
where
road.
Cruz Wilson was laid across our laps. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But they do that every night almost.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with them boys, man.
Yeah.
They don't mess
They like
around.
to party.
Got some new people checking in. Our viewership's kind of going up here. Talking with Brennor Grinstead, Tyson Grinstead, Cole Hanshoe is my co-part doing the hosting and asking questions. So, I'm Brandon Beater. If you don't know who I am, what rock are you under, I guess.
I
But,
guess. He raced, maybe.
I'm a has-been.
You maybe raced?
Has
I
been.
think he's
Okay.
got darn TV.
Okay, I did hear that.
I think that.
I think he should bring
think
back
it
the
is,
long
yeah.
hair. I watched
Yeah, from
Oh,
Hayes. Like when you
I
had the
watched-
long hair in Hayes.
Yeah.
Man.
I never could live that down.
Holy.
Did you see
You
the
were already
early
getting
2000s when I had the blonde long hair?
No,
Oof.
this
Holly, blonde long hair picture. The Grinsteads need to see it.
I do want to see it. I want to see.
You were already getting crap
Well,
for
'cause
just
I-
having your beard today.
I was giving crap. People told me I had to shave my beard because it makes me look old.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
We got bought out by a company called Select. They don't have a shaving policy. When we were New Vera,
Yeah.
we had to be clean shaved every day.
Right.
They don't have a shaving policy.
So let it grow.
You seen 40 grown men adult go from clean shaven
Yeah.
to beards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a trip on the wild
Yeah.
side, as Jordan would say. So
Miles Tomlinson checking in. Good to see you guys.
15T. Love them
See
guys.
See you in Underwood. Maybe another Gangster's Paradise.
Oh my God!
in the pits.
I swear, on my life, I'm never doing it again. I can't. I can't do it again.
Tomlinsons are good people.
They are good people.
Man, you get into some trouble too. Holy.
I felt bad. Peyton had her senior prom the night of the
Oh.
Tomlinson wedding.
My God. that is killer. Like,
Oh, you're gonna have to walk that up to the.
That looks
Yeah.
that looks like a wig. There's
people
no
at home are gonna have to
you're
see
walk
that
out
one.
to the camera.
No,
show
just
everybody.
if Facebook message me it and I'll pull it in. If people at home want to see it.
Oh my God.
They need to see it. It's not
Yeah.
a want thing.
Yeah.
That needs to be out there.
But the moral of the story is I was watching old races for the last couple days, and I'm like, oh, I think this is the night Brandon won in Hayes. So I'm watching it, and I know what you look like, right?
Yeah.
And this guy comes crawling out of the car,
Yeah.
and I see the top half of Brandon's face, and then when he gets out, there's just this
Flow.
flow going, and I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, that. And, Max is probably like 7 or 8 at that
Yeah,
time.
he's young.
Yeah, so
He's
the
young.
little tiny Max, that was like, wow.
I picked him up. I climbed up on the car. I said, Max, get up on the car. And he's like, what? I go, get up on the roof. So he climbs up on the roof with me, and I pick him up, and I
Yep.
hold him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That was a big deal. That
That-
Hayes deal was –
That's a fun place too.
I haven't been able to go back since, I think, 2018.
Yeah.
But it's always
I always enjoy seeing guys from up here win races
Yep.
down somewhere
Yeah.
else, and represent like that. It's a cool
Man,
thing.
Diesel.
Yep.
Holy.
Diesel
was he fast down
he
there?
was quick down there.
Holy.
That car's just
Where
fast.
were we
Man.
Fast.
We were in Jamestown. We didn't have internet, so we had to watch it the next day.
Right. Yeah.
We were racing in Jamestown.
Yeah, and they didn't have it on Flow, so it was on because the camera broke.
right.
So it was
right.
on just on Facebook Live.
Yep.
Man, was he fast! Fast at the end of the year last year. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with this year.
I think
he's gonna be.
he's
quick.
older than I thought he was too.
Yeah, 20.
I didn't realize.
twen-
I
yeah.
thought he was your guys' age. Or
He's a little bit older than me, I
Yeah,
think.
21. He just turned 21. Yep.
So my age. Well, our age, yeah. Right in the middle. Oof, Tom. 20.
They're the good people too, man. Riley, God, I just love all them Canadian boys. If you want to get Riley started,
Did you have $5, Max?
bring an Xbox to the racetrack and get him
Did
on
you have
World
$5?
Outlaws. Man,
World of Outlaw.
Woo.
Like
I thought
which
I was
one?
good at that game. The
Which
new
World
one.
of Outlaw? Oh, the new
We
one.
played it every night at Motor Magic, and I about cried every night because he made us look stupid.
Yeah, Donnie,
Man.
Donnie shot too.
Holy.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for. We got to get Vance Tomlinson and
On
you
music
together again.
karaoke. I started doing it to him at the wedding,
Did
and he
you?
was pissed. I would sneak up behind him and tell him songs before he could even think about it,
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, oh, yeah.
So we're sitting around the fire at Underwood's doubleheader
Yep.
at my propane fire pit, and Vance comes up, and we're all having some beverages and having fun, and it's like, oh, we should play these old songs, And here, Brennor and Vance. Vance is very seasoned and knows his.
Well, he
knows
used to
his
be a
music,
DJ.
Yeah.
He used to be a
Yeah.
DJ. I can see
Yeah.
Vance
Yeah,
being a DJ.
I was like, man,
Yeah.
I
Where-
could see it, but I
where
didn't
is-
know that.
Where is Vance?
I don't.
Vance, if you're listening, get down here. I want you on the show.
Yeah.
That'd be a good guest.
There,
Yeah,
hey,
man,
he
get
showed
that-
up. He showed
Look,
up.
That's why I said,
Max,
does he
you
have
paid.
$5?
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's $5. You get
Yeah.
you.
Don't
Your
worry,
dad will pay
he'll
you
pay
back. He'll
Yeah.
Venmo you.
Yep.
Cash
You're
app.
fine.
Hey, can I borrow $5?
Yeah.
To pay you back later. But they
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
singing.
So we're just jamming out, and then I said, "Oh, what's this song?" And they started naming it off. I'm like, we're gonna do this. So play about 5 seconds of a song, and these guys are just didn't matter what it was. They got the names of it down, So then
There were
skip,
sometimes
next.
Cole would get a little. He would like John Cougar Mellencamp. I remember.
Yeah.
If we said John Cougar Mellencamp, Cole would be like, "No, it's John Cougar."
Yeah.
Oh,
So he would get
John Cougar.
He
Yeah.
would get kind of
Yeah,
stiff sometimes.
couldn't
He
you
would,
say?
yeah,
They
there were
were getting it
sometimes
so
I
quick.
won, but he gave it to fans.
Yeah, they were getting so quick at it. You had to.
You had to build some rules in
Yeah.
there.
Shouldn't
Yep.
let you have that thing. You know that, right?
Have what
They
thing?
shouldn't let me have anything.
Hey, it's the number one. Hey, just got to introduce everybody. If you watch the Dirt Weekly, the number one commenter, Jesse Long.
Yep.
I'm better at texting than I am at talking.
Oh, are you? Are you?
You forgot his nickname though. It's the Wrecking Ball.
The Wrecking Ball.
Hey, good job not to cough right in the mic there.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah,
good-
Boom. That's
you're
like television.
You're learning.
I can hit the button,
Well,
if you, the cough button.
I didn't know there was a button.
Yeah, I should move the button over there for you.
It's okay.
Nick Holberg introduced me through PSP Network to this fancy soundboard. It has more dials and buttons and cords coming out of it in every place.
That podcast that he was on?
That was
awesome.
Legit, wasn't it?
Awesome
that
podcast.
Swimming lessons?
Yeah.
If you're bored, if you guys know Nick Holberg, the voice of the Nodak Speedway and other various
Underwood
things.
now this year.
Voice of Underwood, McLean County Speedway
Plug
here
it
in
in there.
2024.
Appreciate
Go
that.
on YouTube, search swim lessons.
Yep.
Nick Holberg swim lessons, legit, good job. Dallas
learned stuff about him that I didn't even know.
I had no idea the surgeries as a kid. Well, not to spoil the podcast, but yeah, that stuff in his.
It's worth. You might as well talk about it a little bit because it's worth.
I mean, just learning about the. I'm not a big school sport guy, but learning about how corrupt the system can be, and what he's got to go through to do all this.
Do you have another one?
I just pinpointed it. Didn't the lead singer of Rascal Flatts have long hair at one point? That's kind of what Brandon looks like.
Oh yeah, life is a highway.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh gosh.
That's awesome.
Or like a backup vocalist for Creed, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
You could have been in a band, Brandon.
Yeah.
That was your true calling right there.
I have no idea what I was thinking.
We all did it. I had long hair in high school too, and I looked like an idiot.
I had a mullet not too long ago.
Hey, but mullets are cool.
Yeah.
The best part is 20 years ago is when Holly and I took her to her senior prom up in Glenburn, and my daughter just went to senior prom up in Glenburn 20 years later this year because her boyfriend's from Glenburn.
Like stuff going full circle. I mean, it's just
full
meant
circle.
to be. Life works in crazy ways, man.
Yep, it sure
It's
does.
not right.
I'm getting distracted by this tater tot dancing over here.
What are we? Oh.
Oh, it is a tater.
Yeah, come out and check
hot
out
tots.
the top hot tots. I'm trying to get this picture to
Tot
show
Wheels.
up on.
Wow.
When you said tater tot dancing, I thought it was Trevor that you were talking about.
Oh,
I'm not going to be able to. I'll have to put this picture in the comments or something because.
the people just got to see it. That can't not go. Yeah.
No,
Where are we at? The Dirt Weekly. Because I was trying to pull it up on the screen. I'm proud of it. It is what it is at this point in time.
It's life.
It was.
I chose to have hair like that. I chose to dye it blonde, bleach.
You
blonde.
dyed it?
Oh yeah.
Even better, because it was a conscious decision.
You had to do
like
it right.
Eminem and stuff back then,
Yeah.
He was probably
Eminem had the short hair.
real
Brandon
Slim
wanted
Shady.
to do the long hair.
I was
He was
all
one of the
about
extras in the real
long
Slim Shady
hair
Please
and
Stand Up
dyeing it
video.
blonde.
Figure
it out.
That was the style back then. Everybody.
But it wasn't at all.
But I mean,
I also had an earring for a while.
was it a dangly feather one?
It was not.
Oh man.
And it was in the correct ear.
Okay.
The good one. Okay.
Yeah.
But and then my earring got caught in my helmet one time.
Oh man.
And it pulled it out, and my dad's sitting there like,
Woo.
he was just pissed.
Oh God.
Shouldn't have done that.
I didn't want you to have that damn earring anyways.
Ooh, yeah.
Karma.
Yeah, that would hurt. That would hurt.
Oofta.
I've done all kinds of. I don't even know how to comment on my own thing here. We're gonna have to put it up a little later. I'll put it up. I don't even know. Technology is not being my friend right now. I don't know.
I don't know how you do all this.
This is super simple, super easy.
We were talking about doing this. I don't know.
Yeah.
You want your own podcast?
Me and Tyson had talked about
Let's do it.
a little bit this winter.
Let's do it. When I created the Dirt Weekly, I had like different brands. I wanted the Dirt Weekly to talk dirt track racing, the Darn TV Download to talk like the behind the scenes.
Like the
That's
Dale Jr.
what we were thinking. It would be kind of cool from a two racers' perspective.
I wanted to talk from officials.
Go racing, and then you talk about the race weekend, and you talk about what you guys saw as a driver, because you guys are talking about what you guys see
as a fan.
So it would be kind of cool to we were talking about it this winter, but Tyson's got some podcast stuff that he got when he was in college going for sports broadcasting, but. You'd almost need somebody that knows what they're doing, like you, to be behind the scenes and almost run it.
Yeah.
Super easy. I literally set all this up in about 20 minutes.
But yeah. Make it like the Dirt Weekly network. Almost.
I wanted it to Darn TV.
Like
I listen to Dale Jr. all the time.
Right,
Dale Jr. Download.
Dirty Mo.
Dirty Mo Media.
Yeah.
My thought was to go with that. Darn TV Media.
Have a couple different podcasts.
And just build it from there.
Yep.
I don't have enough time.
Yeah,
is one
we
of my
all
biggest
don't.
problem. Because I want Sondrel. I talked to Sondrel, Isaac Sondrel, having
you
like
get that guy talking.
Sondrel Sundays during the high school basketball season.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be racing related. I want to go. I talked to
Absolutely.
Jason Bachmeyer. He's a referee for the basketball and does football and stuff. I wanted to have a high school referee podcast.
Absolutely.
A sport. I wanted to do it all. Every week
and
you get in there.
and
Yep.
motorsports.
Yeah,
and
we
everything.
Podcasts are just such a big thing anymore because at work, I work 10 hours a day, and most of the time I'm in a truck or I'm in a Blade sitting by myself.
You can only
so
listen
I got,
to the same song
I got,
so many times.
I got
you know?
nothing but time, so I'm just I'm
But how much-
podcasting it up.
Him and
You
Small.
get-
Yeah.
I have the equipment from doing Darn TV.
I got a bunch of podcast stuff downstairs.
Right.
I was going to go to school to be in Nick Holberg, and it just didn't work out.
Well, there's always time.
COVID happened.
We can throw you on a microphone at any time, and you can just start learning on the run. The only reason why I'm an announcer is because Bo Simmons took over the Underwood racetrack,
Right.
Yep.
had nobody to do announcing. He looked at me and he goes, Brandon, we're buddies. Will you come down and announce for me? I said, I'll give it a shot. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never announced before
Look at
that
you
in my
now.
life.
Look at
Boom.
you now.
And look at look at where it went now.
Top tier now.
Oh,
I mean-
no. I'm the guy they call when they can't find anybody else.
Hey,
Hey,
you're
But-
somebody.
hey.
They're looking for somebody.
But since Nick ain't going to Williston, guess who the main announcer is in Williston this year?
that'll be fun.
This guy.
Is there going to be two up there? Or is it just
Yep,
going to be you?
myself and Chris Morgan.
Chris? Yeah.
Chris does a good job.
Chris
Yep.
will be fun to listen to. It's tough with just one guy. Like when Nick's up there
Yeah.
by himself. It's
But do you know how much fun last year Motor Magic
Oh, yeah.
Friday night
Yeah.
Riley and I had
Oh.
up there?
Yeah.
Him in the
Right.
So
booth.
fun.
But
Right.
to have somebody like that that's done it for so long and
Yeah.
is so analytical of it, like him up
Right.
there, it adds to it. Like Nick gets
Yeah.
so into the
There's
statistics,
excitement.
and he brings stuff that people that don't go every week
Right.
they can learn from Nick because Nick is
Right.
just so good in that way. But Riley, man,
yeah.
And from where he
let's turn
started,
him and burn him, boys.
from where he started to where he is
Yeah.
now,
So
it's
good.
like it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know what we'd make our
And-
podcast about. It'd be like we just talk for 3 hours and hope people.
What
listen, I
he's
think.
doing-
Keep it to an hour.
what he's
Like,
doing
we're-
now.
We're getting to the point.
On Instagram, he's got
Is he?
got a gaming channel that he games all day, and then he talks with his fans, and he does a bunch
Yeah.
of Q&As. It's just cool. It's cool to see Riley.
See,
Yeah.
do you guys realize we've been going for an hour?
No,
I didn't check a clock or nothing, but
Is it beer
That's how
30 yet?
fast it goes. And you were a little nervous to maybe even come on, and we've went an hour.
yeah.
We should probably wrap it up. We could do it again tomorrow if you guys are around or whatever,
Yeah.
just to fill some time. But
I'll probably be hurting tomorrow, but we'll give her a shot.
are you guys going to take in the party tonight afterwards at the Rockin' Horse?
I don't know.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
6 o'clock. It's not necessarily a party. What we need to do is we need to tell the whole Facebook world and everybody here you talk to. You don't have to, you can go have one drink and just hang out and talk. We need to flood it. We're trying to get sponsorship. Nodac's trying to get some sponsorship out of the Rockin' Horse. They have new owners now.
Be a
And we're
perfect
trying-
opportunity.
And a perfect opportunity. If we can flood them tonight
Yep.
at 6 o'clock to
Yeah.
show them, hey, this is what it can be if you partner up with the Nodak Speedway.
Right.
Boom, money comes into the racetrack.
That's like the cafe in Stanley. We're super close with Corey, the guy that owns it, and he's always wanted to be on the car, but this year he's talked about it a little bit more serious. And I was like, okay, we could do that. And let's say we're racing on a Friday night. You have a certain special Friday night, and you put the race on Friday night.
Yep.
Wherever we're racing, it just gets it out there to so much more people.
Which is it, Joyce's?
Yep.
So that's where I have to go have lunch and just mention the Grinsteads,
Oh, yeah.
and it'll
Yeah.
help you get
Corey, yeah, you'll sit
Wow.
down and hear a bunch of
Well,
stories. and-
Brenner's the celebrity. You don't have to say you just say.
that. Yeah, but they don't know
Brenner.
who I am.
Well, they will once you say you're Brandon Bader. They'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know. They'll know.
Oh.
They'll
Well,
know.
because my lunches are mostly in Tioga because that's where my office, my main
Yep.
office is over in Tioga. But I am in Stanley quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
one of
going
the
to
best
Joyce-
burgers in Stanley.
Best burgers and yeah. We ate there
Shameless plug.
when we were at the dealership together. That's where we ate every day.
Yep.
Yep.
Every day.
Every day.
I will go in there
It's
and
good.
we will have lunch. Luke,
Awesome.
Luke Krogh says hello.
Hey, Luke.
Loopy.
People are checking in. Mo Durward from Williston, the Durward brothers' mom,
There you go.
checking in, saying hello to everybody out here.
Awesome.
So what are we gonna do with this stuff that nobody came and claimed then? If we're wrapping it up.
They still have time. You still have time to come for a giveaway.
Tell you what, the next person that votes for the 82T to win the car show.
Wow. Wow, that's what it resorts to there. Unreal. New levels of low here on the Dirt
Yeah.
Weekly.
Even the 82 didn't even say
Yeah.
that.
Woof.
The
Yeah.
real 82.
And the real 80.
Yeah.
He can
He's
have
Shelby
He's the
Williams
T.
is here? Oh, no. Wait.
He's the T.
He's the X. Isn't 82X Shelby Williams, or is he
No,
82?
I'm the one who gets the X all the time.
Well, you're 82.
well, so
Yeah, I know. But when he's at the same place I am, I can be
Oh.
there like an hour before,
Well,
and I'll sign in.
When
and
are
then
you
they'll
and
be
Shelby
like,
in the same place?
when we went to Iowa, and then when he was here for the tour.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
on
was
the
just, I
track.
was just saying.
Not on the track,
You going
no.
down to Texas to race
Yeah.
weekly, or what are you
No,
doing?
when he was
Okay.
here for the tour, like
Right.
I was an hour ahead
Hey,
of
Shelby,
him.
it's me again. You
Yeah.
know me.
Yeah.
well, I think that's just
They're like,
a-
yeah, Shelby Williams is
Yeah.
already pre-registered. You're the X. I'm like,
Me and him are like this.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't walk up to Shelby Williams and go, you're gonna have to put an X on there because
Right,
I'm
yeah.
already the 82.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to help me with that deal. So this winter, Shelby and his dad were down racing in Arizona with us, and Peyton wasn't there the first week, but I came home, got her, flew back down, and she was with me the second week. And it's no joke. Shelby comes over and goes, "Hey, Peyton, nice to see you." The guy didn't even give me 2 words.
Nicest guy ever.
But
Yeah.
he didn't give me anything.
Wow.
Like I'm just chopped liver. My 18-year-old daughter comes, and all of a sudden, ooh.
I don't know. I can't help you with that one. I don't have kids. I don't have a girl. I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Shelby Williams is a pretty cool dude, though.
Yeah.
He's a cool
Yeah.
guy.
Brand
his,
new
his
rap.
dad is even better. His
got a
dad
Red
is a
Shoe
hoot.
Rocket, right? That's what
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, his dad is a hoot. Gary Williams.
Got a good number. That's all I know. So,
Yeah.
Man, I could listen to him talk all day too.
yeah,
With
Texas.
the Texas.
He cut his hair.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that at the Clash at the Coast. I was
Me
like,
and him
who
are
is this
kind of
guy?
like
Yeah.
this with the purple and orange.
Right.
Were you going to grow his hair out like that?
No, I don't know how he does it. I wouldn't be able to do that with a helmet on.
I have no idea. My dad, Peyton's boyfriend, was talking about growing his hair out like Shelby Williams. And I go, there ain't no guy in this world that can grow their hair out that long and get away with it
and-
unless you're a badass
Yeah.
stock car driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Shelby Williams.
Yep.
Yes.
Shelby Williams.
Yeah, I can't do it. So
Well, we'll wrap it up. Come on down to the booth, or come on down to the car show, North Dakota State Fairgrounds, 10 a.m. today. We started. Go till 6 tonight. You have about 5 hours left. It's 1 o'clock right now. Stop by here. Tell us what track did Brennor Grinstead win a feature and a championship in. Same racetrack, his first year. He said it earlier on the show. We're going to tell you Williston. We're going to give you a heads up right now.
it's Williston.
It's Williston.
Yeah.
Williston.
All you have to do is just say Williston.
Yeah, so you just
Come
gotta
on
come
over
to the booth
here.
and say Williston.
Come on over here, say Williston. Tell Ryan Williston. Tell me Williston, one of us Williston. If they find you
Hey, say Williston.
out in the show,
Yeah.
if they find you, should we ask these guys? We can just ask random guys.
Yeah.
Get over here,
Do
Bailey.
you- oh, you
What's
know
the
these
ta-
guys?
What's the town between Ray
in Montana.
and Montana?
And it has a racetrack.
And it has a racetrack.
What?
Starts with
It
a
says
W.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Boomtown, USA. I don't know if I can get any more specific.
What?
Is he
Okay, no, it's fine.
No,
It's
no. Move on.
it's
Well,
It's got
Next
Basin-
option.
It's got Basin in
What else
the
do we got?
in the speedway name.
Butch and Jordan Boyce are
Can we just
standing
talk
over
about
there.
that Pontiac though?
That Fiero?
Oh,
Oh,
was
my
cool.
God, that thing is cool.
Or what about these classic? What's crazy to me is there's a Ford. You can see it in the screen over here. What is it? This Ford?
Yeah,
right
the
here.
pickup.
The pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever seen like
Yeah, but-
actual road.
That's a classic now.
I
That's as
know.
old as I am.
That's
How's that feel?
Oh
Does
man.
it hurt?
yeah. It's
Or it's actually younger than me. I think that's early 2000s, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's got 20
think so.
years on me.
It's been taken care of. Everything here has.
Come on down. Tell us Williston. That's where Brennor picked up a feature win championship in his first year. Next year at the car show, we'll talk about where Tyson
Yeah.
picked up his first win and maybe a championship.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Don't think about that all year.
woof.
Don't think about it at all.
Yeah,
Just go have fun.
Just do it.
I'll give her hell for a win, but I don't know a championship, I guess.
I'd be scared to see that.
You just got to be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson 1 point out is not good for the guy that's in front of him. I think it'd be a nasty slider or something.
You'd go into it and you'd go,
My luck would be that guy right there, and I'd just have to wipe him out.
This
time.
guy?
Yeah.
well, I heard there's a rule that if one of you take the other one out, you guys have to work together to fix the car, but your dad's going to have the 9/16 wrench in his pocket
And one
Yeah.
set of tools. Yeah.
and one set of tools.
I
One
mean,
set of tools, and he's going to have the 9/16s.
That's crazy. Other than we didn't get into each other at all last year.
Other than the night in Underwood. That
Other
was
than
it.
that, but
But Caden
remember
was
that.
running away, and
Yeah.
I knew
I
I,
remember
had a
that.
shot that night.
Yeah.
man, that sucked. I thought maybe that was going to be Tyson's first win, but
You were getting her.
get 8 alive on the restart.
Just
When
wasn't
you-
meant to happen.
When you look at the lap board and Brandon says 1 to green and it's 51X, 70, 22, 103, you're like, this is going to be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
Just run away.
It's kind of that new lap board. Hey, props to McLean County Speedway. That new lap board is
Awesome.
perfect.
Yeah. The first night when it started counting up was a little confusing, but then we got it figured out.
That whole track is going to be different this year. You know,
Yep.
they
New
cleared out
lights?
the trees. They got the new lights.
Cleared out trees, new
Lap board,
lights.
Cleared out the trees, new lights. We got 16 new lights. Let's see, now I'm talking. I might be wrong, but I think it's 16 lights we got.
That's what the Facebook post
We
said.
get more grandstands.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to be, if I'm going to mess something up here, but we're going to put some on that center pole in Underwood. It's going to light up the front stretch a little bit better because we felt that's where it's the darkest, probably, is the front stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the lights that we take down actually are going to go back into the pit area, and you'll have lights in the pits.
Nice.
Might take a generator or something, but
Yep.
a lot of improvements, and I'm excited.
Perfect.
Getting
for
any
what's-
more stands?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
You building me a nice spot to put the camera up there yet, or what?
You will have a new door on the crow's nest. We got to get that fixed.
Oh yes,
we,
that needed a new door last year
we had to break into it when
Awesome.
the day of the Enduro.
because they couldn't find the key. I'm guessing.
I don't know what the story was, but when I got there, Marcus had already kicked it in. So Marcus had kicked the door in. So yeah, well, the cars were on the track, and we were trying to get back into
Oh.
because they were going to count laps, and
Then they had the wire out there to hold it after that.
yeah. I mean, Marcus just busted off the
His
frame.
firefighter
We'll probably-
brain kicked in.
We'll probably set Nick up in the corner of the grandstands, kind of where we do it on the Tough in the Dirt Tour. He likes to be with the crowd.
Yeah, that's cool.
He likes to be out with the crowd, and
I'm very excited for Nick.
and
to do
that
this
then
year.
what it does is it frees up the booth to have just us officials
Yep.
up there, which is because it gets kind of tight. I know
That's-
I've done race receiver stuff from the top row of the pit bleachers before,
Yep.
just because
yeah,
there's not enough room up
yeah,
there.
you're all
Right.
tight.
You know.
I'm excited for Nick to be there. I think it's gonna make Underwood that much better.
Man, sitting here talking about it just gets a guy amped up.
I know. I'm ready.
Yeah, Nick Holberg could make paint drying exciting.
He
couldn't
could.
He's
Man,
good.
he was just meant for it.
He's good. Yeah, I could listen to him talk all day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Come on down to the car show. What's up, Lydia? Williston is the
Just say
answer.
Williston.
Say
That's all you gotta
Williston.
do.
Come up and tell us Williston.
If
That's
nobody does, I'm taking it.
yeah.
So
Hat
come get it.
and a shirt from SIBO Motorsports. Check out the show today and tomorrow. 10 o'clock again tomorrow all day. And visit your favorite racer. Check out the race cars that are here.
I think they're doing the Boy Scout stuff still.
Yeah,
aren't
the
they?
Boy Scout stuff. There's another race in 25 minutes. So if
Oh,
you're looking at this,
That's what it's counting down. I was like, what do we? What do we count
Rocket
down
launch
from?
up there.
yeah, there's another race in 25 minutes. So for Brennor, Tyson, Cole, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to go on to the next one.
On to the next one.